What is up, guys? Today we're going to be comparing the Note 8 Pro to the Galaxy S10e. So this is a $200 budget phone, and the Galaxy S10e is kind of a mid-range phone. You can pick it up for around $350 to around $450, depending on where you get it from. If you get it on Amazon or eBay, so prices do vary with this one. But let's go ahead and get started because these two are very similar. So the S10 is a phone that I really love to carry around because of it's kind of compact. So I'll usually have, a big phone, and then I'll have kind of like this smaller phone because it's just really nice to hold and feel in the hand. You have premium materials, of course. You have glass and metal. You have the dual camera with the flash Samsung logo, this beautiful color right here, and they almost look pretty similar in color. The Note 8 Pro kind of shifts a little bit and gives off kind of like a pinkish thing, and this one does not. It just kind of stays kind of this color. You've got your Bixby button and your volume rocker, and then you have your fingerprint scanner that also acts as the power button as well. And on the bottom you have the headphone jack, which is awesome, USB Type-C, and you have stereo speakers on this phone. Now the Note 8 Pro has a similar look to it actually, but you have a quad camera setup, the same kind of design. These phones are actually really similar looking. I just think this one looks a little bit newer, mostly because you just have more cameras, so I guess more cameras makes it look a little bit newer. The fingerprint scanner is hidden right here, and you also have the power button and the volume rocker. You have one single speaker, USB Type-C, and the headphone jack. I mean, just hardware wise, look at these two phones. They're very similar. The most similar we've seen in comparison, almost. Just look at that. Only thing that really differs is the camera design. Alright, so when you boot both these phones up, you'll see that the Galaxy S10e is very small. Just look at it. If I just put it in the Note 8 screen, and it can fit right up in there. So it's a kind of a compact phone. So let's start off with the display. So you do have a 5.8-inch dynamic AMOLED display, a 438 for the PPI, HDR10 plus. It's an always-on display as well. Very beautiful, vibrant colors. And on the Note 8 Pro, you have a really good display as well. It is a very nice, bright display. It's an IPS LCD, 6.53 inches. It's a 1080p display, $395 for the PPI. It is HDR. Now, the cool thing about the Samsung panel is it's an AMOLED display. So alright, so when you're watching media on these two devices, here's the trade-off. So it's pretty obvious. You have a bigger display, a water drop notch. Now you kind of have to make the decision which one you care about, because the punch hole on here is not that bad if you flip the device upside down. But with the water drop notch, is not too intrusive as well. The trade-off is the bigger display over the better display. So this Super AMOLED display is just awesome in color. Now they're both the same, pretty much the same resolution, but you're just getting a much better looking panel on the S10e, and also you're getting a higher PPI, so text and icons do look a little bit sharper on this display as well. So it really just comes down to size, and do you prefer the punch hole or the little water drop notch. Alright, let's go ahead and run a speaker test. So stereo speakers, one single speaker. Let's start off with the S10e. So you can see just a fuller sound from the S10e, and it's actually much louder as well. Now on the Note 8 Pro, you're running Android 9 with MIUI 11, the Helio G90T processor, and the Mali G76. You will be able to play games on high with this processor, no problem. Fortnite, PUBG, whatever. Micro SD up to 256 gigs, along with 64 gigs of storage and 6 gigs of RAM. And you also have UFS 2.0, and this actually has the little IR blaster up here, which is very nice, so you can use it as a remote controller. Now the S10e, you have Android 10 with One UI. You have either the Exynos 9820 or the Snapdragon 855. It depends on which model. And then the GPU, you have the Mali G76 or the Adreno 640. It will play games on high, as you would expect. Micro SD support up to 1 terabyte and 128 gigs of storage and 6 gigs of RAM. So as you can see, the S10e is slightly, the beefier, more powerful phone here. Alright, so I went ahead and cleared all apps. So let's go ahead and do a speed test. YouTube, 3, 2, 1. 855 is faster. Let's go ahead and try the Play Store. 3, 2, 1. About the same time. And let's go ahead and try Call of Duty Mobile. As you can see, very close. Those are very, very close. Alright, so let's talk about cameras. So you have a 12 megapixel wide and you have a 16 megapixel ultra wide on the S10e. Shoots in 2160p max, 60 frames per second. 10 megapixel selfie wide, shoots in also 2160p. Now with the Note 8 Pro, you have a 64 megapixel wide and 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel dedicated macro, and you have a 2 megapixel depth sensor that also shoots in 2160p. And then you have a 20 megapixel wide for the front facing camera that only shoots in 1080p though. Alright, so here's two photos that I took of the Funko Pop, so you guys can kind of see which one do you guys think looks better, which one do you prefer. Here's another picture of the mic. So which one do you guys think looks better? Let's zoom in a little bit more. Now here's a picture outside of the forest. Again, which one do you guys think looks better? Now you can definitely get more detail on the Note 8 Pro, that's for sure. It always impresses me how much detail it's able to hold. Now the front facing camera I do prefer on the S10 pretty much all the way. It just looks much better to me. Alright, so both these phones have Bluetooth 5.0 and they both have NFC as well, which is awesome for your mobile payments. Now they both have a physical fingerprint scanner, and this is another one you have to kind of choose. So this one is on the side, which is pretty fast. They're both fast, but kind of which one do you prefer? Now this one is by the camera, which you can kind of smudge this lens right here sometimes, but as you can see, it's very fast, very dead on. So both of them are fast. You do have face unlock available on both as well, which is awesome. So that works very fast too. So in the Note 8 Pro, you have a 4,500 milliamp battery with 18-watt fast charging. Now the Galaxy S10e has a 3,100 milliamp battery with 15-watt fast charging, and you also have wireless charging at 15 watts, which the Note 8 Pro does not have. And you also have the reverse wireless charging, so you can charge other devices by setting it on the back of this phone. Battery life is about the same. You're getting about 7 hours and 30 minutes on both these phones if you're a heavy user, and if you're a light user you can easily squeeze another hour, 8 hours and 30 minutes. So definitely a day and a half, no problems. You won't be running to the charger on either of these phones. So two beautiful phones. It really comes down to the cameras and actually the skin. If you guys saw my software video, the skins are important too. You have different features on One UI versus MIUI 11. If you want to check that out, have that up on the channel. So which one do you guys prefer? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.